Okay, so today I'm gonna give you 5 tips that probably no one else gave you, because photographers are not talking about things like this. They're talking about gear, they're talking about lenses, they're talking about aperture and all the technicalities, but these are more like life hacks for being a photographer. So stay with me. Hey, what's good everyone, Chris here, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about how to produce great imagery using life hacks, basically. They're related to photography, definitely, but some of them might sound a bit weird. So let's start with the first one. Now, you're probably thinking, clothes? Are you kidding me? Attire? Yes, that's very important, especially when you're going on location, if you're going to shoot street photography or landscapes, if you're going to shoot a wedding or an event, or if you're going to meet a family and shoot family photos. It is very important how you dress. And I'm not talking about fancy stuff, trendy stuff, I'm talking about things that are matching the situation, and those clothes that you're putting on should be very comfortable and should be very into whatever that situation is. For example, if you're going to shoot landscapes and you're going in shorts and t-shirts or polos, that won't be very nice, especially walking through the woods or fields where you can find snakes and bugs and all kinds of stuff, even branches that can scratch you. And also, if you're going to shoot on the street and you end up in a shady neighborhood, all dressed up in a Calvin Klein suit or whatever, and Prada shoes, and I'm just, mentioning brands that I don't really care about, but if you're doing that, you'll probably end up in a confrontation with, surroundings. And because I mentioned surroundings, next one is about that. Now, what I mean by looking around and check your surroundings is the fact that, especially when you're walking on the streets with your camera in your hand, and no matter what camera you have, you probably attract a little bit of attention, and that attention might also go towards thieves and burglars and people who are not also interested in having their photos taken, but also having your camera in their bags. So be very aware of your surroundings, especially in the crowded areas. Always look a little bit over your shoulder or right and left. Look and be safe, because safety is more important, and you'll feel more comfortable if you know that everything around you is the way it should be and you're not followed, or you don't have anyone in the shadows always creeping out to grab your lens or your backpack. This is very important, and it actually is a little bit connected to the first one. The more proper you're dressing for the situation that you're shooting, the better you're gonna avoid all kinds of shady situations that I'm talking about. Now, the third one is a bit more fun, and that is always grab the camera when you're going out. Because if you have a small camera like the XT3 that I have, or an XF10, or an A6000, 6400, whatever, an Olympus pen, there are so many small cameras that a Panasonic or a mini Leica. Every time, grab it with you and put it in the pocket if you can do that. I can't if I'm holding this lens on mine, but if I'm putting the 27mm f2.8, that makes it very small, and I can put it in the back pocket of my jeans and have it with me all the time. That will help you produce a lot of images, and a lot of images means more practice. More practice will in time attract a little bit of professionalism, and will make you become aware of your compositions, will make you create more and create better, and that is great for photography. So don't forget to take your camera with you, even if you're going out to let's say throw the trash. I don't know where that came from. Another tip that I always give, but nobody cares about it, is shoot with your brain, not with your hands or your eyes. Your eyes are seeing different, and your hands are always tend to grab the camera and put it up your eye, so you can shoot the image that you are seeing with your eyes. But if you process that image a little bit with your brain and think about it, maybe you will find a better composition, a better angle, a better perspective. Maybe you're gonna wait a little bit more to have a better subject or a good subject in your photos, and that will create a better image. So do not push yourself into snap shooting. Instead, think more of the image and use your brain to compose your shots. And the last one is probably one that you heard here and there from time to time. Photographers are talking about it. Less is more means you can shoot less and include less in your frame, in your composition, and have better image than including more. And that brings me to the wide lenses that include a lot in your photos. But that doesn't mean that if you have a wide lens you should shoot all the way wide. You can go a little bit closer to the subject and frame your image so it looks a little bit more tighter if you want, and emphasize your subject better, because these cameras and the lenses that we're using are all meant to shoot different situations. But it doesn't mean, like I said, if you're shooting a long lens, you can step back a little bit more and include a little bit more in your frame. And if you have a wider lens, you can step forward and include less in that wide frame. Less is more, and trust me, the more you include in your image, the more distracting it's gonna be to look at it, and people would not appreciate if their eyes are jumping from right to left, from up down. So try to include less in your photos and you'll definitely have better images. Here's a pro tip, and this is a bonus tip for those of you who are shooting Fujifilm cameras, and I hope that there are many on this channel. Fujifilm cameras have a beautiful feature. It's not a feature, it's more like a perk that you can use. Set your camera to manual all the time and set up an AF on button on the back right here in the settings. Customize one of these buttons to be AF on button, and every time you're switching your camera to manual, this button is gonna work but the shutter button will not. So you can definitely manual focus, but you can autofocus using the AF on button as long as you are in the manual focus mode. So yeah, this is pretty much it for today. I hope you guys will enjoy these shorter videos, but more concise and probably with a lot of information for you to take in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give these videos a thumbs up. Also hit the notification bell and put your comments in the box down below and let me know what other tricks and tips that you have to shoot good photos, and I will definitely see you in a bit.